To me, definitely the little brother getting mugged and the older brother's trying to help the little brother, because within the society we live in now, it happens a lot. So I can see how it relates to real life.
Like also, it still like makes sense of how like there's always someone who has the thing like, okay, I'm feeling a lot of guilt. They're gonna have to control the guilt, and so you got to find out how to balance like the kind of violence and also with emotion. Because if you do too much of one thing, too much emotion, you find it boring. Too much action. It's always good to have a lot of action.
It becomes more predictable what's going to happen.
Yeah. So you would prefer if it would be more unpredictable.
Yeah.
So then you're kind of on the edge. You don't know what's actually going to happen.
Instead of using London, it kind of focuses the point of all these bad behaviours occur around the main spot in London. Instead, you could use other places such as the countries and the seaside and stuff like that.
Yeah, because like the idea, obviously, you got the teenager stuff like that. You've seen it quite a lot, but you have to try to make it more of something slightly different. That's more original. So people will say, okay, it's not like adulthood, but it's got a bit of adulthood.
Yeah.
But make it a bit your own as well.
Yeah, but it wouldn't really hurt to like take aspects of like adulthood and put it into your film, because I mean that was a great film, and if you could like emulate something like that, yeah, you'd definitely be quite successful. So like Fauzan was saying, don't take too many things from it, but you can take certain aspects and sort of develop them to your personality.
I would say don't use too much slang, because sometimes when we watch movies that involve teenagers, they use a bit too much slang.
Yeah.
Also, we talk about the music. Make sure like the music is something that kind of reflects what's going on in the movie, but also keeps us entertained when we watch it as well. As I was talking about balance as well, like we have a bit of like emotion, but people like the funny guy. Just
the trailer, if you introduce like the funny guy, I mean, most people like for me when I watch a trailer, there was like a one line you sort of remember from it.
Yeah.
So that can sort of bring in that one line that will help it stick in
like,
someone's
have it
mind.
at the end as well.
Yeah.
Like, people should remember that last.
Yeah, that last line at the end of the trailer, and then someone will just remember and say, "Yeah, I want to see that movie." And just remember he said that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that could be beneficial.
Yes, like the clothes should really reflect like the characters. Like maybe for the funny guy, like having wear like, a leather jacket or something, and like for like to the younger brother, because he's always more seen as like the guy you need to protect. Like having like just like probably like tracksuit, naturally respected guy who dresses like fashion.
They do that for like one of the older brothers or something, because you see how they're supposed to protect him. It gives that sort of authoritative sort of feel with him.
Yeah.
So if he's wearing a suit, like it's like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like he's one of those people who's sensible and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that will work out. I think like literally a flash of light would help that.
Yeah.
So like say there'll be a flash and then you go to the flashback and then the kid will probably wake up.
Yeah.
And like sort of panting or whatever is going to happen after that.
Yeah.
That'll probably just help clarify it's a flashback rather than an actual event.
Why do you feel that having more of a long shots would be more effective than having a close shot? Whereas close shots come closer towards the face and shows more emotion.
Yeah. Like as I mentioned before, we want to make sure that there's a sense of progression. So say there's a long shot of Brixton. People who live in Brixton will recognize a building or Iceland or something that is recognizable. Exactly. So if we use close-ups, of course it's a good device to show emotion, but if we use just close-ups, or the majority of the teaser trailer is in close-ups, then people won't actually see that sense of progression. Like they wouldn't see that Iceland or a building that that's recognizable as like London or Brixton or Streatham, etc. That's why we used long shots.
Makes sense, yeah.
Have you identified like any problems you may have with this and like how you overcome them?
The mugging is one, but me and my group, we discussed that and we came up with a possible solution that when the mugging occurs, you don't actually see it, but you hear it. So it fades to black, and then you hear some diegetic sound of
That's
struggling.
really good, because people that are watching the film, they can relate as well.
Yeah.
As if they've seen a mugging happening, they can visualize it in their head, which brings them closer towards the film to understand it more.
Yeah, it has stronger implications, definitely.
And we chose London as well because it's close. It's only 30 minutes away from here. So if we decide to make some extra filming, we could just go on the bus and film. Okay. Well, thank you for taking part in our focus group, and have a nice day.
You too.
Thank you.